There are moments when you pray sincerely, not a light prayer, not a prayer spoken out of habit, but a prayer that comes from the heart, a heavy prayer, a prayer filled with tears, exhaustion, hope mixed with fear, and yet nothing moves. You pray in the morning, you pray at night, you pray when you wake up, you pray when you lie down, but the situation stays the same. The doors remain closed, the answers do not come, and the silence becomes louder than noise. So you start asking questions you don't dare say out loud. Does God really hear me? Did I do something wrong? Why are others moving forward while I'm stuck? Why do I pray but nothing changes? That silence hurts, because it makes you feel forgotten, abandoned, set aside. But listen to me carefully now. God's silence is never proof of his absence. When nothing moves around you, it does not mean that nothing is happening. It means that God is working at a level your eyes cannot yet see. There are battles that are not won in the visible. There are answers that are prepared in secret. And there are transformations that begin in silence. You see, we like fast answers. We like when God acts quickly, when he opens the door immediately, when he changes the situation right away. But God works in depth. When you pray and nothing moves, God is not ignoring you. He is watching you. He is listening to you. He is shaping you. Because sometimes, if God changed the situation too early, it would destroy you instead of blessing you. You ask for the blessing, but God prepares the person who can carry it. You ask for the open door, but God works on your character so you don't close it yourself. You ask for change, but God starts by changing your inside. And this is where many people give up. Not because God is not acting, but because God is not acting the way they expect. If today you pray and nothing moves, this message is for you. Not to tell you to quit, not to tell you to be silent, but to remind you of a deep truth. The God is never late. He is always in preparation, and what he prepares in silence will be greater than what you ask for in noise. Let me tell you something important. Just because you don't see movement doesn't mean God didn't hear your prayer. We often think that if God hears us, something must change immediately. A door must open, a message must arrive, a situation must shift. But God doesn't always respond with noise. Sometimes he responds with silence. And silence does not mean no. Silence often means wait. God hears every prayer you pray, even the ones you whisper, even the ones you cry, even the ones you don't have the strength to finish. He hears the prayer you prayed once and thought didn't matter. He hears the prayer you repeated for months and started doubting. He hears the prayer you stopped praying because you were tired of hoping. Nothing escapes him. The problem is not that God is silent. The problem is that we expect him to answer the way we want, not the way he knows is best. You see, God's hearing is not passive. When he hears, he acts. But his action doesn't always start where you are looking. Sometimes God answers your prayer by working behind the scenes. Sometimes he answers by closing doors you wanted open. Sometimes he answers by delaying what you're asking for, to protect you from something you cannot see yet. There are moments when God hears you, but instead of changing the situation, he strengthens you. Instead of removing the battle, he builds your endurance. Instead of giving you clarity, he grows your faith. And that can be frustrating, because you didn't pray to become stronger. You prayed for things to get easier. But God is more interested in who you are becoming than in how comfortable you are right now. There are prayers God hears that require preparation before manifestation. If God gave you everything you asked for immediately, you might lose your dependence on him. You might trust the blessing more than the blesser. You might move ahead of his timing and damage what he planned to give you. So when nothing moves, don't assume God is distant. Assume he is deliberate. God hears you even when heaven feels quiet. He hears you even when your emotions are loud. He hears you even when your faith feels weak. And sometimes the greatest proof that God heard you is not that things changed around you, but that you are still standing. The fact that you didn't quit, the fact that you didn't collapse, the fact that you are still praying, even tired, that is evidence of his work in you. God is not ignoring your prayer. He is aligning the timing. He is arranging the details. He is preparing what your prayer will step into. What you see as delay, God sees as design. What you call silence, God calls strategy. And when the answer comes, You will understand why it didn't come sooner. While you are waiting for things to change, God is not wasting time. Waiting is not empty. Waiting is not punishment. Waiting is not God forgetting you. Waiting is a workshop. When nothing moves on the outside, God is often doing his deepest work on the inside. Because if God only changed situations without changing people, those situations would eventually collapse. So while you are asking for the answer, God is shaping the vessel. First, God works on your character. He uses waiting to reveal what is inside you, your patience, your pride, your humility, your dependence. Waiting exposes what pressure hides. It shows whether you trust God only when things are easy, or even when nothing makes sense. Then God works on your faith, not the kind of faith that depends on results, but the kind of faith that depends on God's nature. Faith that says, I don't see it yet, but I trust him. I don't understand it, but I believe. I don't feel strong, but I will remain faithful. Waiting strips away fake confidence and replaces it with real trust. Next, God works on your discipline. Waiting teaches you how to pray without quitting, how to obey without applause, how to stay consistent without motivation. Anyone can be faithful when things are moving, but it takes maturity to be faithful when everything feels stuck. God also works on your identity, so you don't confuse who you are with what you are asking for. So you don't think your value comes from answered prayers. So you don't build your confidence on outcomes. Waiting teaches you that you are loved before anything changes. And sometimes God works on your direction, because the delay is not always about not yet. Sometimes it is about not this. God may be protecting you from a version of your prayer that would take you away from his purpose. You see, waiting filters your desires. It reveals what you really want and why you want it. Some prayers don't move forward because God is trying to move you in a better direction. So if you are in a season where nothing is moving, don't waste it. Don't complain through it. Don't rush out of it. Let God finish his work. Because when God finally changes the situation, you won't just be happy about the answer. You will be ready to handle it. And that is the part people don't talk about. God is not just preparing the blessing, he is preparing you. One of the hardest things to accept is that sometimes nothing is moving because it is not supposed to move yet. We often think delay means denial, but with God, delay usually means development. There are prayers that require timing. There are answers that depend on alignment, and there are doors that cannot open until the right conditions are in place. If everything moved the moment you prayed, you might walk into something unfinished, something unstable, something you are not ready to sustain. So God holds things back, not to frustrate you, but to protect you. Sometimes nothing is moving because you are still becoming, not becoming better in the eyes of people, but becoming stronger, wiser, and more grounded. God knows that the next level will test you. It will expose you. It will demand more from you than you realize. So before he promotes you, he roots you. Sometimes nothing is moving because other pieces are involved. Your answer is connected to people, decisions, and situations you cannot control. God is not only working on you, he is working on the environment around you. He is positioning the right people. He is removing the wrong ones. If God moved things now, you might end up surrounded by what will later hurt you. Sometimes nothing is moving because God is redirecting you. You are asking for one thing, but God sees the outcome of that request. He sees where it leads. He sees what it would cost you. He sees what it would take from you. So instead of answering quickly, he slows you down, not to punish you, but to guide you. There are prayers God does not answer immediately, because answering them would take you away from his purpose. And there are moments when nothing moves, because God is saying, trust me without evidence. This is where faith matures, not when prayers are answered, but when prayers are delayed and you stay faithful anyway. If you are in a season where nothing is changing, don't panic. It does not mean God forgot you. It means God is intentional. What feels like a closed door may be a door waiting for the right version of you. What feels like silence may be God preventing a mistake you would regret later. Nothing is moving yet, because when it does move, it will move with purpose. Here is what you need to understand. What is delayed is not destroyed. What is quiet is not cancelled. What feels stuck is not finished. When God decides it is time, things will not move slowly. They will move suddenly. The door you thought was permanently closed will open without effort. The answer you waited for will arrive without warning. The situation that refused to change will shift all at once. Because when God moves, He doesn't need momentum. He doesn't need permission. He doesn't need explanation. He moves with authority. What God is preparing for you will not require you to beg for it. You will not have to force it. You will not have to chase it. It will come in alignment. What is meant for you will recognize you when the time is right. And when it happens, you will look back and realize the waiting was not wasted. You will see that the silence protected you, that the delay shaped you, that the process strengthened you. You will understand why it didn't happen earlier, why it couldn't happen sooner, why God said wait instead of now. Because if it had come before, you would not have been ready. And here is the powerful truth. When God finally moves, He doesn't just change the situation. He changes your position. What once required effort will require wisdom. What once required tears will require gratitude. So if you are still waiting, don't lose hope. Stay faithful in the quiet. Stay obedient in the delay. Stay prayerful in the silence. Because the same God who allowed the waiting has already scheduled the breakthrough. And when it comes, it will not only answer your prayer, it will confirm your faith.